Hello everybody and welcome to video number 4 in our installment of PowerSchool Training for the 2021 school year. For this video, we are going to cover the Settings tab over here in PowerTeacher Pro. So if you have your PowerTeacher Pro open, you can click on Settings. And in Settings, there's a lot of things we can do to help us with how we grade in our classroom and how we display what we see in PowerTeacher. So first thing is the display settings. So here you could set it up, period, day, section number. So you could set it up the way you want it to display and sort for you. If you want to show traditional grades, you could also select values, what you want to see. Do you want to see the grade, the percent or points? Do you want to show standards, page and links, show standards on assignments, how you want to navigate, show on grading, standards, final grade. So a lot of different things, how you want to see the student names show up in your display. So that's the display settings option here in the settings tab. You could also set your class descriptions if you would like. So you could set up your custom class name, how long you've been at school, this information, maybe contact information for yourself, for your parents and your students. You could also do that here in settings and class descriptions. You could also adjust the comment bank. I showed you before, you could put comments on grades. So you could add your own comments if you would like and create a code for it and save them here. And they would be there in your grading when you're doing your assignments or your final grades for the quarters and semesters. So you could also add different teacher comments there in the comment bank. And you could also see the district comments that are already created for us if our district creates their own comments. Also in the settings, which is really important, I'm going to skip class grade scales and student grade scales and go down here to traditional grade calculations, because this is where a lot of us do a lot of work at the beginning of quarters, beginning of the school year. So let me move myself over here. So a lot of us do categories in our classroom. We weight our grades, and every class is different. Some of us don't do that. But if you do that, there is an easy way to get around it. So I'm going to go here to quarter 3. It says total points right now. So I want to make this quarter 3 and all my quarters, I want to make them weighted by category. So you go all the way over here to the right where it says actions. There's a little pencil. That's our editing. So I'm going to click on that for quarter 3. Our semesters are set by admin, so we can't do anything with that. So we can change how we do our quarters though. So we have 2 tabs here. We have formula and drop low scores. So we're going to work with formula. So instead of total points for quarter 3 here, I want to select category weighting. In my first category, I'm going to use classwork. But if I click the drop down, here's all our different categories. I created quarantine in a video before, and that's why it says quarantine here. That's one that I had created. So I'm going to use classwork, and my classwork is going to get a weight of 30% of their grade. And you see nothing has changed yet. It still says 100%. You got to click this little plus here to add another category. So I want to change total points here, category weighting. For projects, our class does have projects, and we're going to weight them 30% also. And I want to create one more category after this, so I'm going to click the plus. And you can see here, you know if you've screwed up where it's not adding up to 100%, or it's just 50-50, or you don't have the decimals, all right? So if you see the decimal points, that means something was screwed up with your category weighting. So we want to create one more. I'm going to name this one tests, and we're going to give our test 40%. And if you save, right now it hasn't saved itself, hasn't calculated, but if I hit save, you can see there it changed really quick. It says category weighting here, so I'm going to go back so you can see it. And now you can see my classwork's worth 30%, my projects are worth 30%, my test is worth 40%. I don't have the decimal point, so it all adds up to 100%. So my weights are set. If you're a teacher that drops low scores, PowerTeacher will do that for you too. You could set it up where you want it to drop the lowest overall or drop lowest by category. So then you could go through here and add your categories in. You want to drop the lowest classwork grade or lowest test grade. You could also do that. You don't have to do it, but if you do it, you do have the option in PowerTeacher. So I'm going to go here and save everything. All right. Here's the next question that always pops up every year or every grading system. How can I take all that work I just did in quarter 3 or quarter 1 and put it into other quarters of the same class I teach or other classes of the same class I teach? It's very easy in PowerTeacher. So in this little sprocket right here up in the top right, click that sprocket. We want to copy our traditional grade calculations. And the first thing we're going to do it within a class. All right. So we're going to go within a class. And now we just did it in our quarter 3. So I'm going to go to my anatomy, physiology. That's the class we were working in. The reporting term, which I already did the work in, was quarter 3. And now I'm going to bring that. And for this test, for this training session, I only have quarter 4 there. I don't have the full year. So I want this to go to my quarter 4. In your classes, you would have all the quarters there. So you would want to put it quarter 1, quarter 2, 3, and 4. If you're using the same weights. So now I'm going to validate. It's asking me if I want to do what I told it to do. I'm going to copy it. Now, if I go down here, it should say category weighting in quarter 4 and quarter 3. So it all worked. And if you want to double check, I click on quarter 4. And there you go. There's the weights we created. So awesome. So I'm going to X out of that. So now say I taught a different anatomy and physiology class, which in this training session I don't. But if I did, I click the sprocket again, go to copy traditional grade calculations. Now I want to go to another class. So I'm going from semester 1. Actually, the one I did was where it's going to do the whole 2021 year, because you would already had set this up in your class. And we're going from my anatomy and physiology. And now I'm going to go and bring this to 2021 for my other 3 classes. So I'm just going to do this for my 3 geometry. Say my weights are all the same for those classes. I'm going to validate. And it's going to ask me if I want to do what I want to do with the quarters. Quarter 3, quarter 4, all my quarters should be the same. It's going to ask me down here for all the classes. And I'm going to copy it. Now I should see category weighting in all my classes for the semesters. So semester 2, category weighting for geometry. And if I click on it, there you go. So I brought all my category weighting to all my other classes into each quarter because I selected the whole school year. So that's how you would do your category weighting if you do that in class. If you do total points, you don't have to worry about that. So you find this all in settings under traditional grade calculations. Standard grade calculations is something different. If you go to that default calculation, you could see how many decimals you want to see in a grade, I believe, in this section. So there's some other stuff that you would play around with, but you don't necessarily have to. And I, as a teacher, I have never actually touched that section in settings. So traditional grade calculation is the most important. So that's the end of this video. Hopefully that helped you out. We have one last video in our installment here today, and so one a lot of you have been waiting for probably. It's about emails.